The NBA rundown is back. Tyler, it's the return, dude. This is the longest I've gone without handicapping the NBA. I mean, obviously, I've done stuff here and there, but not doing it daily for 8 years. For 8 years. So let's see if it helps and let's see if it hurts. But I'm excited, dude. It was kind of fun to punch the numbers in the model today, checking out some of the other content that people are producing. And, of course, the show is brought to you by nukethehouse.com. Head on over there. Jumped on the live show with Holden and Ramon last night. So, of course, they will be live betting the NBA tomorrow on Wednesday night. Then they'll switch to baseball the week after that, and they continue to crush NASCAR, UFC, and, of course, the NCAA tournament on the weekends. Tyler, I talk to you all the time, but let's have this question be phrased in an NBA context. You're a Knicks fan. How are you?
I mean, it was fun before we stopped doing rundowns, and I don't think they stand a chance in the playoffs.
And doesn't it feel like it's a two-team race out there in the East? It feels like the West is wide open.
I wouldn't call it as wide open. I think there's maybe, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in the West.
So it's not as wide open. Who are your 4 teams in the West?
OKC, Denver, Lakers, Warriors. I think that's it. I don't think Houston's that live. They're still too young, I think.
What about Memphis?
They just lost Brandon Clark for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I think they're a guy short.
The Clippers?
No.
Okay. And then I assume you don't believe in Phoenix at all.
No, I mean they're in a battle with Dallas. They might not even get in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Sacramento's the one the odd team out there.
But no, Phoenix might not even get the 10 seed to be in the play-in.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if both Phoenix and Dallas moved ahead of Sacramento and they both made it. And that's the 9-10 right there.
I don't think there's enough games left for them to catch them.
Oh, there definitely is.
I mean, there's only 12 games left in that regular season.
But the Kings are closer to 11th place than they are to 8th place, I think.
Let me pull it up again.
Let me double check. Kings are 35-35. 8th place is 41-31, so they're or 7th place. They're 5 games behind 6th, and they're only a game and a half ahead of Dallas. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a game and a half, and Phoenix and Dallas are battling. So I'm not sure Dallas is going to be the team that gets in, but who knows? Phoenix has just been so Jekyll and Hyde all year.
Well, I can't wait to talk about Phoenix because I kind of like them a little bit later today. The one team that we kind of left out here, Tyler, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I take it you're not a believer in the Fighting Julius Randles?
No, I just think it's if you can trap Ant and just make his night a living hell, that's pretty much it. There's no cat to score you 30. I don't see Julius Randle doing it, so.
Yeah, that's a kind of disappointment. What's going on with that team? Okay,
let's talk about the top 4 teams, though, since we're talking about the other teams.
Okay, let's.
Of course, OKC is the favorite. Are we really sure? They're going
to we're not because they can't. Other than Shea, how are they going to get quality? I talked about this on the live show last night with Ramon and Holden. How are they going to score in the half court if it's not SG? A wonderful whistle this year, and good for him, right? But we saw this with Harden as well. When you're reliant on getting to the free throw line, sometimes that dries up in the playoffs when they start fouling on every play and the refs simply can't call everything.
No, I totally agree there. I'm not sure I trust the guys like Jalen Williams, even Chet. I don't know if these guys can score 25 here and there.
Against playoff level defense.
Against playoff level teams. And what happens when SG, just for instance, I know you're going to hate this scenario, but what happens when SGA is getting hounded by Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith?
No, I've
already you're going basket for basket
with Luka and LeBron.
LeBron and Luka, and you're throwing at that Jalen Williams and Chet. I think you're dead every time.
And that's one of the things where the Thunder have such excellent perimeter defense but the Lakers have that kind of sneaky size there with their two main players.
Yes.
I think Dort can handle a player that's larger than him, but Caruso's been excellent on the perimeter this year, but I don't think he can handle either of those guys.
No, I don't think he could guard either of them, and I'm not sure Dort can guard either of them either.
I mean, I think he's as good as any other option in the league, though.
I mean, I agree, but I think playoff Luka is just unguardable spread. Like,
yeah, he is. But my point is, if you were to choose someone, I mean, who else in the league would you choose besides Lu Dort? I mean, it's like 5 guys.
I don't got 5, but I know Tatum did a hell of a job in the finals.
Yeah,
he's going to be one of them.
But he's one of the best defensive players in the league. So, I mean, okay. So we both have concerns about OKC, but it wouldn't be crazy if they were able to overcome these things. But it's just one of those things where the depth isn't going to matter. You know, they have great depth. It's not going to matter. And I just worry about their ability to score in the half court and get stops against some of these elite offenses. Houston, I talked about this last night. I'll go ahead and just tell you my main thoughts on them in case you missed it last night. But what I'm watching for with that team is how well are they able to offensive rebound, because they have the same situation as OKC, not a lot of good creation there in the half court, but they're so good on the offensive glass, maybe they can overcome it, right? And maybe that ends up being I think Jalen Green.
I mean, I want him to be the guy, but like, are we sure he's going to be the guy?
No, we're not. And that's why, even though they're the number 2 seed, no one even brings them up in their top 4 in the West.
Yeah. Like, I think that they're the team that they kind of remind me of like the Hawks in the East when they had Teague, they had Horford and these guys.
Yeah.
They win a bunch of games. They're a little top 2 seed. And then they just get beat in the playoffs because they don't have a guy.
At least they make the second round, though. And from Houston being a lottery team last year, that would be a huge improvement if they were even able to win one series. And let's just say the season ended today, they would play Minnesota in the first round, you know, just assuming the seeding held.
Are you sure they win that matchup?
I don't know.
I think Minnesota might beat them.
Yeah. That's why I'd say the West is so much more fun than the East when we're talking about these playoff scenarios. Denver, I don't think there's as much to talk about here. We know they can get hot and beat anyone. For me, it's tough to see them staying hot for 4 series like they used to because they can't get the stops like they used to.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, if Denver's going to win, it's going to be – this has been Jokic's best season in the last, 5 or 6 where he's just put up crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Like, it would just be him just continuing this wild run. Could it happen? It could definitely happen, but
it could happen, but they need a lot. They need Aaron Gordon to step up and play better defensively like he did a couple years ago.
They need Jamal Murray to go.
Yeah, MPJ's got to be like 46% from behind the arc. Yep. Jamal Murray's got to have those 3 or 4 games in a series where he's just unstoppable. And then Christian Braun and Russell Westbrook are going to have to hold up on the defensive end, and that doesn't seem like – I mean, I know Russ can give it in spurts. Will he be able to do it night in and night out? I don't know. And then I hate to say this, Tyler, but to me, the LA Lakers are the team to beat in the West right now. They have the best balance of offense and defense. Their main issue, I think, is size. So maybe Houston can take advantage of that. Maybe Denver can take advantage of that.
Here's the thing about size. Here's the thing about size, though. Like, look around the West. Like, outside of Denver,
and
what do they do?
Houston's big.
Are they really that big, though? I think LeBron
can run like Steven Adams, Şengün,
Steven Adams,
Jabari Smith is like a 6'10" small forward. They got some size in Houston.
I think LeBron, if had to, could guard a guy like Şengün. Like, he can get down there. And
of course he could. But my point is just that they could give them problems on the offensive glass and really kind of attack the Lakers lack of defensive rebounding.
Yeah, but I just don't think you can play Steven Adams in a Rockets-Lakers series because he's getting pick and roll switched onto Luka or LeBron and just beat from the outside. So
here's the thing with Udoka. While his offense isn't that good, he's like right up there in my mind with Thibodeau on creating defensive schemes. So if there's anyone I think, that would anticipate that and have a counter set up, it would be Udoka. So,
I mean, you could definitely counter it, but like what are you gonna counter it with? Like, are your guys just gonna fight through the screens? Are you gonna try and pull like a different guy off and have Adams drop back into the paint?
yeah, I think that's
Because
what you would do.
now
Is you would
think
play a
about this.
drop and you would play through screens, and they have guys that are good at getting through screens.
But the two guys that are probably initiating these pick and rolls are two of the best passers in the league and two of the best foul draws.
Oh, I know. I mean, if the Lakers play the Rockets, even the Rockets have home court, the Lakers are probably minus 180 to minus 220.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that would be something that I would be looking for in that matchup.
And it just lines up. Like, a guy like Gabe Vincent's going to be hitting threes in the corner for the Lakers with those two working the ball around. Jackson Hayes is going to average like a double-double throughout the playoffs and just catch these lobs from these two. Like, this team's going to be a real problem. Now, the next team we're going to talk about,
and the rest.
The next team we're going to talk about, and I think this is the one team outside of OKC that can give the Lakers problems, is that guy right to your left.
The Warriors.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Butler almost,
I think that's what it comes down to. Is Jimmy Butler going to play like how he's played in playoffs before?
I think he is. So when the trade was made, I thought the Warriors made a huge mistake, and I thought, I don't know if he can do it anymore. From what I've seen so far, he's still got it. And especially with him, when he carried the Miami team to the finals, he was the top dog on offense, right? And he had Hero and Bam to support. He's definitely the number two. You got Steph to lead the way, and him and Butler are a way better fit than I thought. Butler's ability to draw fouls. He's actually giving Steph more space. I think the Warriors are live too.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are live, but if you told me to bet someone, I'd bet the Lakers.
I hate to say it.
And I would definitely bet.
Okay, so if you take out Los Angeles, who would you take? And consider odds here, right? Because I know it's easy to say OKC, but they're the lowest amount of odds. I think I'd rather have a bet on Denver and Golden State than OKC when I'm looking at the current numbers.
I'd rather have a bet on the Warriors. I'm not sure about Denver because they're lower in odds for me. And I think OKC is just it's just a defense for Denver that worries me.
Yeah. Looking over at the East, Cleveland's been the best team in the East all year, but they're 6-4 over their last 10. Boston sneakily 9-1 here. Did Cleveland do that thing where they peaked too early?
I mean, they might have. Maybe they're slowing down the stretch. I mean, they could drop out of the 1 seed, but it would take them losing. They're still up 5.
I don't think they drop out of the 1 seed. I'm just,
Yeah, so I feel like maybe they just eased off the gas a little bit.
You can't, you can't.
I mean, they're gonna be a problem defensively. Mobley's taking a step forward, but are we sure Garland's gonna be able to get us a bucket if Mitchell can't?
Or and are we sure that Mitchell's going to give us consistent performances because his issue's been inconsistency? He drops 45 one night and then 17 the next.
Yeah, so it's going to be weird there. Mobley's going to have to play some offense. And Boston's just doing this weird thing where they're just hucking as many threes as they can. I mean, we know how that's going to happen.
So, going through everything this morning, did I read this right? They shoot 54% of their shots are threes.
They just huck threes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they have fully adopted this, like, we're just going to shoot threes. And when they fall, you're not going to be able to keep up. And they're 11 guys deep and they can all shoot threes? Yeah. And they shoot them at a high clip, and when one of them catches fire, they just feed them. Like, hate to say it, but, like, I'm betting the Lakers versus Boston in a year where we see a trade come out of nowhere trying to boost ratings. What do you go to in the finals? All reliable, the Lakers versus Boston. You're getting like 13-1 on that.
I think Boston will smoke them if that's the matchup.
You think Boston smokes them?
Yeah.
I mean, they probably do.
Yeah. That's why I think the depth there. And then we talked about players, right? Brown, Tatum, even Holiday a little bit, to take out some other players. It's a much better defensive matchup. I don't think that they'll be able to feast the way they did last year. So, or they would against OKC. So, all right. Any other general thoughts here? It feels like it's Cleveland or Boston in the West, and we kind of outlined the 4 teams we like Cleveland or Boston in the East, and we outlined the 4 teams we like.
Yeah, I mean, look, just gonna peek over award odds. I mean, SGA is minus 2,000 to win the MVP. That's pretty much done. I maybe Jokic steals some votes, but I just don't think he steals the award in the end. Castle's minus 700 to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, I haven't really paid attention to that market with how bad the rookies have been, so I'm gonna stay.
If I did anything, I would bet the Hawks kid.
Now, what do you think about this Defensive Player of the Year? Mobley's minus 115, Draymond's minus 105, Dyson Daniels 15-1.
I mean, so Draymond has jumped up. If you were to bet that a couple weeks ago, Draymond was over plus 500.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like that's why these awards are weird. There was like a campaign. I don't know who started it, but they obviously backed it up statistically. But they showed that Draymond, if you're just a nerd and you don't watch any games and you just go off stats, Draymond would be the most impactful defensive player this year. So I don't know. I mean, it's almost one of those things like you're just betting it too late, though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bet Draymond at this point.
Yeah, I'd probably stay away from that. I just think someone also gets rewarded on Cleveland when they finish the 1 seed. Doesn't that feel like it? Mobley has taken the step forward. Mitchell's not going to be in the MVP argument.
And he doesn't choke people out, and he's not controversial.
Yeah.
He's not saying stupid stuff on a podcast. So
I also think this next award's pretty much locked up. Cade Cunningham, most improved. This market's so hard to read, but, I mean, he did average a couple more points. He's jumped.
It's almost like the most improved is the new under 25 MVP.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Remember when who got a couple years? Was it Ant that got a couple years ago?
No, Jaw got it when Jaw went on his run.
Jaw, that's what I'm thinking of, right? Where it's just like he's an MVP candidate, and he actually was pretty good last year.
Yeah,
but we got to give it to him regardless. Tim wants to know. Well, first of all, what's up to everyone in the chat? What's up, J-Main? He's on Siakam over 21.5. We're going to get into those real soon. Clyde, Knicks are nothing without Burns, son. So he's a big Jalen Brunson fan. Mark Lewis, what's up, buddy? I'd sent him probably, I think, the same picture I sent you, Tyler, of the snow, but it's all melted now. It's a beautiful sunny day today. Matt Smith says, I got Golden State or Lakers in the finals versus Cleveland, not Boston. I mean, that's not crazy. I mean, I'd lean Boston right now, but I mean if you fast forward and Cleveland's in the finals, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, like a Lakers versus Cleveland's 22-1. Like, I do not hate that.
I don't hate it either. And that would be, you talk about storylines, right? Kind of the same.
I'll tell you one thing. If this was LeBron's retirement year, that Lakers.
I wish Cleveland, it was.
That Lakers Cleveland one would be getting
me with a good time
every different way.
Yeah.
Because
5 more years.
They would win it in Cleveland and he'd get to hoist the trophy in his hometown, and then he would just set off into the sunset.
Bro, I want his HGH so bad. Matt Smith says Garland's had an amazing offensive season. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue there. And here's a question from our guy Tim. Well, good to see you, Tim. He says, are the Warriors going to make a surge to the finals? I wouldn't say it's highly unlikely. Where do we put them at?
If I had to power rank the West right now,
if Steph was healthy, I'd put them in the number 2 right now.
Yeah,
I
don't know about that. If the way I power rank the West, I go Lakers, OKC, Golden State, Denver.
See, I would go Lakers, Lakers, Golden State, OKC, then Denver.
I think that OKC could really lock down Golden State.
Yeah.
There's not
and they could.
There's not a size thing that could really be a problem there.
Mm-hmm.
And just think about the matchups. Like, they could throw Dort and Caruso both Steph's way to just make his life hell. These other guys, Jalen Williams and these guys, could definitely guard Jimmy Butler. Outside of that, I think they have the advantage everywhere else.
Yeah, that's a good point. They might match up pretty well. All right. Well, we'll be continuing to discuss that, but let's dive into tonight's card. And let's be honest, Tyler, we didn't choose a very good night to come back.
No.
This is a terrible slate. This is not good. But we're going to do our best to find some winners. But I think that even though we've taken 4 months off, we're going to be in midseason form and skip some of these games. And this first one, I'm pretty close to skipping. I have one angle that I would consider, and I'll run that by you. But I'm talking about two tanking teams, the Raptors and the Wizards. One of the reasons why you don't want to get involved in this is both teams have shown a penchant to just pull all their starters in the fourth quarter. Toronto is the better team by my projection. So if I were to bet it, Tyler, I would take Toronto first half and just not even worry about what happens in the second half. At the same time, if I've taken 4 months off, I can easily pass this game as well, right?
Yeah, I think it is a pass. It's like, did you really want to get involved in this game with two bad tanking teams? Like, I really don't want to. Toronto should win, but you could definitely see Washington hold up on their home floor. So I'm staying away from this one.
All right. My Starlink's good for about 1 or 2 drop-offs here. It's definitely not as good as the fiber optics I had when I lived.
Oh, you're good. I said it was a pass for me.
Great. Let's move on. I wrote up the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Orlando Magic this morning. Totals 215. I took the Lakers but I wrote this up at like 5 a.m. Right, Tyler? The more I look into it, I don't know if I like it. The main reason I like the Lakers here was they're coming off 2 terrible performances. One of their worst defensive performances of the year. They gave 146 to the Bulls a couple nights ago. And also the Magic have been the epitome of a zigzag lately. Of their last 8 games, they can't win 2 in a row and they can't lose 2 in a row. So they're 4-4 and they've evenly split, and they won their last game against the aforementioned tanking Washington Wizards. So that's not necessarily that exciting. The total here is 215. The Magic have the lowest point output in the league. So I took the Lakers here. I'm almost thinking, though, for this show and maybe for our sheet, if we were to adjust it, I would take Magic team total under. The idea that coming off that embarrassing performance, we should see a good performance from the Lakers defensively, and the Magic haven't been that good offensively. But I'm also a little bit worried, right? I haven't been paying attention to the league, even though we haven't been handicapping it every day. The Magic did have a ton of injuries. They do have Paulo Franz back in the lineup tonight, which is their 2 major scorers. Maybe my numbers and my projections are a little skewed because of how bad the Magic were offensively when those guys were out of the lineup. So I'm all over the place on this game, Tyler, but I like the under and the Magic team total under.
I don't hate the under. I probably just end up staying away because I kind of lean the Lakers side here. I just don't trust the Magic defenses. It's a bounce back spot. Without Suggs, do we really think Corey Joseph's going to be able to guard the likes of Luka, Austin Reeves? LeBron's going to be back. Yeah. KCP, it's he's still good, but he's not. I don't think he's going to be able to guard these guys either.
He's too small.
Yeah, so, I'm on the Lakers here. I think it's a nice bounce back spot for him.
Okay, so you agree with my original. Maybe I overthought of it because at 5 in the morning, I like the Lakers -4.
Yeah.
Our guy J-Main on Luka over 28.5. Can never argue with that. But I like this one here just because it's a little different, right? It's pretty easy to pick the over on the best player on the floor, but KCP sneaky look on his over points. Yeah, I kind of like that one too, just because it's a little more hidden. And I don't even know if the revenge angle still applies. We'll have to call up our good buddy Travis Mangone and find out what the expiration date on those is. But of course, KCP did win a championship with the Lakers. Tyler, this one is interesting. The Minnesota Timberwolves are in Indiana. They're taking on the Pacers, -1.5 for the home team. Totals 228 here. These two teams played in Minnesota last week, and the Pacers won in overtime. So the quote-unquote revenge spot for Minnesota. Also, the Pacers have won 4 in a row, but I think it's by a total of 6 points. So they're barely squeaking out these wins. My projections had this game pretty close to the line. Where did I have this one? No, I have the Pacers winning by 1, and they're laying 2. So, yeah, pretty close to the line. Kind of like the Timberwolves here. To me, it's Timberwolves are past, though.
Don't you got to wait for this Ant news?
Well, every game. I forgot we got to pull up the injury reports, too. We haven't been going over that. But
yeah, he's got a Q tag on him. Mm-hmm. It's a right hand laceration.
Mm-hmm.
He's right-handed. It's his shooting hand. I don't trust their offense outside of him. It gets slowed down the Pacers, but they're going to be able to score points. So I'd probably lean the Pacers here.
All right. Jamie's look is Siakam 19 field goal attempts per with Hallie in the last 8 to 9 games. Bet is over 21.5. And maybe player props are the better way to go in that one. So, all right, we will continue to monitor the news. And that's another reason. I mean, we didn't talk about all the other guys. Like LeBron's technically game time decision. Rui Hachimura is questionable. And forget the Toronto game. So I don't even care about the injury report there. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Cavs pretty close to the total. All right. Dallas Mavericks are -2.5 here, Tyler. They're in Brooklyn. They're taking on the Nets. Total are 219. My projections show an edge here to the Nets, Tyler. What do you think?
It's showing Anthony Davis is going to play tonight. Is that what it's showing for you?
I see him as a 50-50.
If he plays, I want Dallas. I mean, he's going to be the best player on the floor by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
The second best player on the floor might be P.J. Washington, and the third best might be Spencer Dinwiddie. It's just, the Nets lineup is terrible. Tyrese Martin, Keon Johnson, Zaire Williams. Cam Johnson's pretty good, and Claxton's pretty good on defense, but talk about tanking teams. Like, that's a tanking lineup right there.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to look at the trends. I think Brooklyn's been okay lately, though. Yeah, Brooklyn's 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games. To be fair, they're only catching 2.5 here. And
yeah,
I don't
this
know
is
those
almost
5
like
games.
a pick the winner.
Yeah. Both teams have gone over lately, though. Total's gone over in Dallas's last 5 games, and total's gone over in Brooklyn's last 5 home games. But we got to wait for that news, right? All right. Well, that's going to be a theme for the show. So, okay, Let's see if we can find spots we like a little bit more. If 80's in, though, this line moves to 4.5, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it goes up.
Most of the content I listened to today didn't expect him back.
I think he might play some minutes.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving. Pelicans, Sixers.
Just
Angle.
throw it in the trash.
Yeah. All right. Bulls and Nuggets. Now, I think this is an interesting one, Tyler, because we don't think the Bulls has been very good, but they've been pretty good against the number. 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games. Denver's 14-2 straight up, though, against Chicago. The last 16 times they've hosted them. Total's gone over 8 of the last 9 times. Chicago's traveled to Denver. So some interesting trends here. I'm trying to see who my projections like. I'm pretty sure Jokic is not going to play, right?
He's out.
Yeah.
I like Chicago to win the game.
My projections are worthless because I can't accurately take him out.
I like Chicago to win the game spread.
Why?
No Jokic. I mean, this Denver team is just not the
That's
same.
what Ramon thought against the Rockets last night, too, and Denver won.
Yeah, I mean, we know how Sundays are in the NBA. Sundays are weird.
Sundays are dog days.
Think about that. They were in Houston last night. Now they got to travel home to Denver for a game. It's a back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing your best player. Superstar subtraction the first game.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore. Although it might not even applied last time. I think he's missed more time than that. Okay, well.
What if Aaron Gordon also misses?
Yeah. All right. Well, great day to be back. Another no play, huh? Or do you want to take Chicago?
I'd take Chicago here if I was taking anyone.
All right. I mean, if you take Chicago now, you could see them punt the game, too, if Jamal Murray sits.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray could sit. Gordon could miss. Like, they might just punt it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's consider that one, though. I think I'd like to get more points if I had Chicago. All right.
That's why I think you just play the money line.
The plus 131?
Yeah. I think if they cover, they win.
Yeah, All right. Let's circle back to that one. Milwaukee Bucks, another +3 here. in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Totals 223. I know the Suns have had a disaster season, Tyler, but they're 4-1 over their last 5 games, and KD's coming alive. He scored 42 in a win over Cleveland. I know Cleveland isn't playing that well, but you still have to consider that a quality win right now. And Phoenix is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games at home. However, Milwaukee 5-1 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. I like Phoenix here.
Yeah, I like Phoenix here. I mean, when KD's playing good, this team's going to win games. I think they match up well with Milwaukee. Milwaukee still plays that drop coverage we've talked about for years, so it's going to open up these 3-point shots for him and Booker and these other guys. So I like Phoenix.
All right. I think we might make that one official. We both like Phoenix -3. Total's 223 here. Trends are to the under, and my projections have this one pretty far over, Tyler.
Yeah, I like the over here. Does that seem kind of low?
I got it at 230 almost.
Yeah, give me the over.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think either defense is all that good.
Every other total I have is pretty close to the number, except for the game that 2 games that we don't care about. Raptors, Wizards, I have a way under, and 76ers, Pels, I have way under, but we talked about how we don't think it's easy to accurately project those games. I got a huge edge to the over on this last game here, Tyler. Although it's not as big as the last game. But I have the Kings and the Celtics going over. We talked about the Celtics shooting 54% 3, and guess who gives up the most wide open threes in the league?
The Kings.
Yeah. To me, it's Celtics surpass. I know the Kings beat the Celtics in Boston, but almost seemed like a normal Boston spot. Kings do have a rest advantage. However, Boston looked pretty good last night when they defeated the Portland Trailblazers. But, they do have a little bit of travel. The Kings' most recent game was it all the way back to Friday? Did they play Saturday? Let me double check that right now.
I think so.
I kind of like the over here. And if I were to bet it, I'd take the Celtics. I don't want to take the Kings.
This isn't basketball-related spread, but our guy Xavier Restrepo just ran a 4.8 40-yard dash. That is pro day. That's not good.
Yeah.
He was always a space finder, but that's really slow.
Yeah. Be interesting to see where that turns out. Yeah, so the Kings played Saturday. They lost to Milwaukee. Kings on a 2-game losing streak. They lost to Chicago as well. However, the Kings do kind of have a rest advantage. They've been at home since March 14th. Boston just started a road trip. This will be the 3rd game. Boston's won how many in a row?
They just announced Anthony Davis is going to return tonight.
Wow. Let's see where that line moves.
It's already 3.5 for me.
Yeah, 3.5. He's only worth a point, huh?
It's not done moving. I can guarantee you that. People will keep betting on the 3.5.
Boston off an ATS win. I'd have to look it up, but let me see. Do I have off ATS wins? No, but they are only 5 and 6 ATS in the second game of a back-to-back. However, Kings are about the same percentage, 27 and 28 after a day off against the spread. Boston 17 and 15 as a road favorite, and they're 4 and 2 when they're laying between 3 and 6.
I think they win the game. They probably cover the 4.5. Even if Brown sits, Hauser sits, still gonna have Porzingis, Tatum, Holiday, White, Pritchard. You're gonna have guys out there.
Yeah, and the Kings team isn't coached very well.
It's not coached very well. Monk, Sabonis, McDermott. It's
not built very well.
All questionable.
So I don't think Domas comes back. I think Monk will play.
Yeah.
And I don't care about McDermott.
Yeah, Boston or pass.
All right. So let's pull up the sheet, Tyler. What are we going to make official?
I think we should do Chicago, Phoenix in the over. And we could play Boston if we want. I think that's what we should do.
Do you want the over in the Kings game?
That's up to you if you want to play that, if we have a nice enough edge.
Yeah, we do.
I think I'm going to bet this. There's a special on FanDuel. Every team to score.
Do we want
20.
the over in the Suns game?
Yeah, put that on there. I'm going to bet this special on FanDuel. Every team to score 20 points in each quarter at 55-1. Doesn't seem kind of low, 20 points in the NBA. Even these tanking teams, they're not going to play defense.
The Magic or the
I mean, those are the teams that could burn you, but
yeah, it seems about right.
Let's see. I'll 55-1. I'll take a shot.
All right. So final thoughts here, Tyler. And let's just say someone only wanted one play. What's your favorite one out of all these?
Probably over in the Bucks Suns game.
Okay, my favorite play is the Suns -3.
Pretty much it for me.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. What time do you want to do tomorrow?
So we're doing 4 o'clock, right?
Sounds good. All right, guys, we'll be back. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Let's see if we can get this built back up here. NBA rundown, and we might push it back even farther, Tyler, to take more advantage of the injury news. But so we'll keep that in flux. But right now, we'll schedule it for 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Nuke the house.